Good girl. Good girl. Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms and Zephy, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1229. Study, and new people. Wow, it's been a busy, well, kind of a lazy day. We've had a lazy start to the day, didn't we? Yeah, we didn't go for our walk till like around 8:30 this morning. And then we came back and we had breakfast. And for breakfast, we had dessert because we still had cake and pumpkin pie left over. So we had a second lot of that. We didn't get to have any last night because I was talking with my mum and dad on Zoom, which was awesome for my mum's birthday. And Zeffy came and sat up here and was quite happy to have treats so that they could see her and see how she was doing. And high five. Oh, good girl. Oh, you're sitting pretty too, huh? You're pulling out all the stops tonight, huh? So we had a great time connecting and talking with them. And then Zeph decided it was serious playtime. And I heard this funny noise at one point. I'm like, she's down here by the bowl, which is just sits down here. And I thought, what on earth is that noise? And then she starts walking away and she has her dessert bowl in her mouth. She had picked up the edge of her dessert bowl, so she's carrying it so it's facing out from her and just hanging down from her mouth, and walks over by the recliner, turns around, lays down, puts the dessert bowl there, and then looks at me. And usually when she sits in front of the recliner, it's because she's ready to go out. She's ready for her treats, whatever. She's ready for whatever's meant to come next in our daily plan. And so she sits there with her paws either side of her little black bowl. It's upside down in front of her, and she just looks at me. Looks down at the bowl, looks at me. Very clear message of what she wanted. I says, no, you're not getting into that tonight. And this is while I'm on the Zoom with my parents. So, of course, I'm having to tell them that story as well. But it was good to catch up with my mum and dad because I haven't spoken to them for a while. And it's always good to catch up with family and to have puppy sitting next to you too. Yeah? You a good girl? Yeah. Makes you surprised how long she's staying up because she doesn't like being on camera. But yeah, so that was a good evening last night. So we didn't get to watch any movies last night because by the time I got off with mum and dad, it was like 9:30, and I was done. They said, "You looked tired," and I go, "Yeah." So when I got off the phone with them, it was bedtime. Went off to bed, slept, and woke up at like 3:00 this morning. Could not get back to sleep, so read for a bit, and then went back to sleep for like about another hour before the alarm went off and woke me up. And I was dragging out of bed this morning. But we did our walk around 8. So I turned the alarm off, went back to sleep for a little bit. We finally got up and did our walk around 8:30 this morning. And it was a good brisk walk this morning. She did well. And we ended up going all over the place. It's, yeah. She got to be in control a little bit this morning. When normally on morning walks, I'm the one that dictates where we're going and how long we're going to be out for. And in the evening, it's all her. She gets to decide whether we're going to go left or right, or I'm putting them away. You've had enough. You've had enough. They can go away down there. Okay? Good girl. You can stay up here and have cuddles. We like cuddles. And then I came back and started to study, and I was like falling asleep when I was getting my study done because I got the discussion question 7 done. I've still got to work on discussion question 8. But this morning I just couldn't stay awake. I was falling asleep. And so in the end, I was like, screw this. I still had to get the mail as well. And I still haven't done that. I was trying to plan out my day of how that was all going to work. And because I was sitting here and struggling to stay awake, I was like, screw this. I'm going to go and take an hour's nap. So I went and put my timer on for 57 minutes and crawled into bed and went to sleep. And woke up about 15 minutes before it was due to go off. But by that stage, it was beautiful outside. We opened up the doors and the windows. We got all the fresh air coming in. I had some lunch, and then we were into studying for the rest of the afternoon. And still got to do discussion question number 8. 7 is done. A lot of the other research is done. My assessment is, I think I have like 3 or 4 questions left to answer, and then that'll be done. So there's not a lot left to do. But we're going, that's a little toy pizza. But we're going to work on that. We're going to do a little bit more tonight and get the rest done tomorrow morning. So it'll be done. And then I can go get my mail and... Okay, thank you. Release. Zeffy, release. Release. She just wants to play tug. Oh, thank you. This is her pizza that she got in one of her bark boxes. It still squeaks. I'm surprised because she's had this one a while. Got a couple of holes in the back here, but it's doing well. It makes a great frisbee. But anyway, so you're getting the study done, and then tonight when we're out for a walk, we met one of the neighbors who lives over the other end of this area, and I was talking to her, and she says, "Oh, this is," and introduced me to the lady that she was talking with, who was standing out the back of her park model, and we got talking, and she asked me if I was from New Zealand. I said yes. She goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah," and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And it turns out that her mother is a New Zealand Maori, and so we're going to get together at some point and just chit chat about different things. And she said she's got relatives all over New Zealand. I said, that's okay. I've lived all over New Zealand. So she was like, really? I said, yeah. Lived as far north as Papatoetoe and as far south as Invercargill and 11 places in between. And I said, the longest place I lived in was Waitara, and that was 6 years, and that was the longest I lived anywhere in New Zealand. So keeping her busy. I think that's what she was whining about, that I wasn't playing with her. No, she actually found it. I thought she'd lost it. I can only but hope. But yeah, so we're going to get together and have a talk and catch up and all of that sort of thing and figure out where everybody's from. And almost got it into it. Bounced out of her. It flew on its side and it bounced out of her bed up there on the dash. I was trying to get it in the bed, but didn't quite make it. But that's okay. So got to meet new people tonight, and we're already making plans to get together with these new people so that we can talk with them and that sort of stuff. And especially with somebody who's from New Zealand, I don't get to meet New Zealanders very often here in the States. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, when we were out in Virginia, they actually had a New Zealand New Zealand group that used to get together, and we actually went to one of the hangis that they had one time. And a hangi is where you dig a pit, you put a fire into the pit, and then you put the food down on top with the slowest cooking stuff closest to the hot rocks. Well, first of all, you dig the pit, you make a fire, you heat up the rocks, and then you put the hot rocks down into the bottom of the pit, and then you put the food that requires the most cooking on top, and then you go up to and it's all done in layers. The food's all wrapped in leaves and flax, and these flax baskets that they make, and then it's all covered over with cheesecloths and stuff and completely buried, and so it's buried in the ground. And the meat is fall off the bone, melt in your mouth type stuff. The vegetables have this earthy taste to them and just really, really yummy. And then you can uncover it later on. But the problem was that they didn't get the fire going soon enough. Somebody reported it, and reported their fire, and the fire brigade came out, and they had permission and everything to have the fire. But of course, the fire department showed up and ordered them to put it out. And then they had this discussion, found out they had. So then they had to start basically from scratch again. So it took a while for the vegetables to be cooked. So, but the meat got cooked. It was good. And everybody, bring along whatever you want. They did the meat and the veg and the root vegetables like potatoes and carrots and pumpkin and stuff. Although pumpkin's not a root carrot, but it tastes really good in a hangi. I love pumpkin that's been cooked in a hangi. It's awesome. It's amazing. I mean, the food that comes out of a hangi is amazing. If you've had a luau in Hawaii, it is very similar, though they cook their food they bury their food above the ground when they cook it. So it's very similar style of cooking, but they cook it above the ground and put all the dirt and everything over top of it. Whereas in a hangi, we actually dig a pit and put the food down in the pit with the hot rocks. And based on whether you're in the North Island or the South Island as to which rocks you use. I always remember this one from middle school was that and I can't remember which way around, but on one island, either the North Island or the South Island, you have to use the river rocks. And on the other one, you have to use the sea rocks, the ones that are out there at the beaches. And if you don't, the rocks will explode. I'm like, if you're in the South Island, how do you know if the rock came from a river or a beach and you got to make it explode? How does the fire know this? I don't know. I guess it's the composition of the rocks from where they're at and how they're made and how they react to fire. I don't know. But I always found that I've always found that intriguing that somehow maybe it was the makeup of the way the rocks are made up or something. I don't know. I'm not a geologist. But yeah. So, and I don't remember if it's North Island or South Island, but one has to use river rock, one has to use ocean rock. rocks from the beach. And so, yeah, that one always intrigued me. How does the rock know? It's, you're getting on fire. But maybe the North Island and the South Island are so different in their geology stuff that rocks react to fire in different places in different ways. Who knows? Somebody can explain it to me. I would greatly appreciate it. Where we at? So it's going to be good to catch up with somebody from New Zealand. But yeah, so we had this group out there in New Zealand, and every now and again they'll get together and we'll do like all the old picnic games that we used to do, like the sack races and 3-legged races and all that sort of stuff. And we were able to take Gus with us as well, and we had Chris and Ash with us, and so we had a really, really good day out. It was a fun day. Got to meet some New Zealanders, but most of them already knew each other anyway, so I felt like I was the outsider coming into that group. But got to meet some New Zealanders, which was good, and get back into the hearing this. It was really funny. I got there and all I could hear was New Zealand accent everywhere. It's like when I talk with my mum and dad, I can hear their accent for about the first 3 or 4 minutes, and then I don't hear their accent at all. If Brad was with us and we were down in New Zealand, all of a sudden he would have the accent and my parents wouldn't. But yes, so if it's sounding a little stronger, it's because I talked to mum and dad last night for a couple of hours. And it doesn't take long for me to click back into the accent. And Brad always used to know when I was tired because it would get heavy. The accent would get heavier and I would just ramble, which I'm starting to do now because I know I'm tired. But, where do you go that you meet, if you're not from the US? When you moved to the US, did you come with people from your country? Did you come over by yourself? If you came over by yourself, are you still keeping in contact? How are you able to keep in contact with people from your home country? Do you still want to keep in contact from people from your home country? There's lots of good stuff that's out there, and it's always interesting when you meet. So I don't know if she's actually ever lived in New Zealand. This woman that I met tonight, I don't know if she's actually lived in New Zealand or it's just that her mum was New Zealand Maori and she's lived here in the States all her life. I don't know. But when we get together, we'll find out, because all she says is that she's got relatives all over the country. She mentioned a couple of place names. I said, yep, I know where those are. So it was kind of cool. It was a lot of fun. And you never know who you're going to meet or where you're going to meet them. And people come in and out of your lives at certain times for a reason. So I'm curious to wait and see what this reason is going to be, that I get to meet this woman. And they only just arrived back they have a park model here, and they just arrived back recently. There's been a lot of people that have come in recently after Thanksgiving. And there's some that have left and will be back around Christmas or just after Christmas. So it's very interesting. And she says, well, you in an RV? I says, yeah, I'm in an RV. She says, well, are you going to buy a park model? I says, I don't know. I said, maybe. I may go buy a house. All I know is that I need bigger office space. And I'm not sure if I want to spend another summer in Arizona in an RV. So, our release up here, June 1st is the day I'm supposed to leave of 2023, based on what I want to do. So do I take the site for another year, or do I get back on the road and go traveling? I don't know. I know that there's a lot of mechanical stuff that has to be done to Sparkles to make a road ready. And I know she has to have new tires put on before we go hit the road as well. We've got to get the generator fixed. And I think it's next April is the last time I'm able to do the extended warranty on her, because they allowed me to take the extended warranty on her because she was younger than 15 years when I purchased her. But they don't take any new extended warranty. The company I'm with, they don't take any new extended warranties if the vehicle is 15 years or older. And if you have a vehicle that is less than 15 years, they will allow you to have coverage up until it turns 18. So yeah, I'm getting close to that because this is a 2006, which means April next year, she turns 18. Is that right? Hang on, is my math right? 2003. No, she'll turn 17 next year. So I have until 2024 to figure out what I'm going to do with Sparkles, because I can get her covered next year, and then that's it. No more after that, because she'll be 18 in 2024. And next year's only 2023. So I have another year and a bit. I got a year and a bit to go before I have to make the, I'll give myself a year, because then I've got some time there to figure out what I'm going to do. So sometime in the next year, I'll figure it out. But speaking of next year, I just had my birthday. I'm a believer in doing New Year's resolutions, but on your birthday, not on January 1st. So my New Year's resolutions start on December 9th and go through till December 8th next year. And I was looking around for the journal I wrote last year's ones, and so I could have a look back and see what have I done, and then look forward to see, what do I want to get done before my next birthday. So next birthday is not a milestone birthday, but it is for my mom. So my mum next December will be celebrating a milestone birthday. So I'm like already planning. And then my dad will have the same milestone birthday 3 weeks after my mum. So I'm already planning that maybe next Christmas I go down just before my birthday, so my mum and I can celebrate our birthdays together, but more importantly, celebrate her milestone birthday, then have Christmas with the family in New Zealand, and then stay for Dad's milestone birthday, and then fly back home, or maybe working with them rather than surprising them. The queen of surprises with my parents. So working with them rather than surprising them, maybe do a joint celebration party for them both. Sometime in December, maybe between Christmas and New Year. We're like the halfway mark between their birthdays or something. I think it's 3.5 weeks. So I don't know. I'm going to talk to my mum and dad about it and see what they think and what they want to plan and that sort of stuff. And then I'll start making plans to go down to New Zealand next December and celebrate my mum and dad's milestone birthdays before, and then come back in January. So I'll probably be gone for about a month. And I'm sort of like, oh, that means leaving Zeffy for 4 weeks. So that's going to be, we're going to have to work our way up to that one. We did 10 days. We did good. And then in February, I've got like 5 days in February, I think it is, for my niece's wedding. And then like a week or two later, I've got, 10 days after she gets married, I get on a cruise ship. And that's a 5-night cruise, and I want to go and spend some time down in San Diego with the family. So I may go into LA a couple of days before the cruise, so I can catch up with the LA family, and then go on the cruise. And then when I get off the cruise, head down to San Diego, spend some time with family down there, and then turtle back. So that'll probably be another 10 to 12 days. I don't know. I'm still working on the calendar on that one. But yeah, there's a lot coming down the pipeline that's going to be happening, which is kind of exciting, and got things that we're working on, new techniques for different things. So I'm going to try those out and see how they go and everything else. And before I go, because I'm about to wrap up for the night, so I can go watch, do one last piece of study. In fact, I was working on the discussion. Before I go watch Die Hard tonight, since I didn't get to watch it last night. Yeah. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that has donated for my birthday fundraiser this year, which again is for Fight Colorectal Cancer. They're an incredible organization that gave Brad and I so much help during his 9 years, 8 months, and 3-day battle with colorectal cancer, with rectal cancer. They gave us so much resources and everything else. It was just outstanding. And so every year on my birthday, we do a fundraiser for them, just as a way to give back to them for all that they've given us, so they can then go on and help others that have colorectal cancer. So if you feel so inclined, please go to my Facebook, and you'll see the link there for the fundraiser. We're doing awesome. We're almost at the halfway mark. I haven't checked it today, so we may even be over the halfway mark. I haven't gone in and checked. I should have done it before I came on here. But if you feel inclined to give in Brad's memory, that would be awesome. And it's greatly, every penny is greatly appreciated. So thank you for those that have made donations to support Fight Colorectal Cancer Organization and in Brad's memory. So thank you. And for those that have yet to give, it's up to you. It's not a requirement. You all know me. I don't really push it that much. Just a little bit here and there, and that's it. So, but anything that you can give would be greatly appreciated. We've got a target of $888, and last I checked, we were at $412. So we're getting there. It'll be awesome. But anyway, so go to my Facebook page. You'll find all the information there for the fundraiser. I don't know how many days after my birthday it keeps going for. I can't find the end date in the information, so I don't know. So the sooner the better. And thank you. It really is truly, truly appreciated. because they gave us so much. So to be able to give back to them so that they can turn around and keep helping others and keep the fight going for better treatment, for treatments, for earlier diagnosis and that sort of stuff. Because at the moment, it's, I think if you turn 50 is when they sort of say, oh, now you have to have your thing. The problem is that people younger than 50 are starting to get colon cancer or rectal cancer sooner and younger, and they're not finding it out until, some of them until it's too late, others until it's moved along quicker, and had they had a colonoscopy earlier, it may have been detected earlier. So we're going for early detection, and this is something that these guys help with as well. But their resources are top notch, getting you information and finding places in your community to help you. As it's, I can't thank these guys enough, and this is just a small way that I can say show them how much we appreciated the help that they've given us over the years. So that's it from me for today. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go finish off my discussion question so I can get that posted, and then it's off to watch Die Hard. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hei konera.